Hello, and welcome to a new series, this time focused on the moon. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video and any within the series with your friends and loved ones. Comment beneath, like the video, and turn on the notification bell so you can hear when I release new things. Please send me an email if you would like to have a personal reading of your birth chart. This is my great passion and I love doing it, so thank you so much for tuning in. It brings me so much joy to share this amazing art science with you during this new Aquarian age that we're in. The moon is at home in Cancer and at home in the 4th house, so these are themes of family, mother, home, the heart, emotions. So I hope you enjoy this exploration. Hello, Moon in Virgo. This is so lovely. This is a really nice position. It's probably my favourite position that I've observed the moon being in, and it's so sensitive and soft but caring and really concerned with others and their well-being, and looking at things very logically and very systematically, but with heart. This is the difference with a sort of a pure scientist and a nurse. You know, a nurse is there with, it's all in the hands. It's really all in the hands. The difference between a nurse and a doctor, I should say. You know, there's such sensitivity in the palms of a Virgo moon. There's this real ability to care. And yeah, this is a natural placement for someone involved with energy healing and plant medicine, plant healing, essential oils, batch flowers, aromatherapy, massage. Any of these are going to be wonderfully placed with a moon in Virgo, because you have this level of stability and empathy. If you're thinking, that's not me, I'm not stable, well, that would be because you're identifying with the emotions of others, which is what you're feeling. As a Virgo, you're very empathic. You're feeling a lot from outside of yourself, and this is how you heal. You feel it and you help transmute it, but you don't take it on as your own. You are just that channel to clear it out and move it through, and the chaos comes when I was just talking about the Leo moon, and yeah, it can be chaotic, but at least they know it's them. And with this kind of empathic state, there's a I don't know who I am, I don't know what's going on, and that can almost be more dangerous. But there's this sweetness, and there's a lightness and an understanding of what needs to be done, you know. And if you think of animals like squirrels and small rodents and things that are like keeping things ready for the winter, you know, preparing ourselves and looking to sort of quietly in the background make sure everything's covered and make sure all of the boxes are ticked so that down the line things run smoothly. This is very much someone who's operating in the background, and maybe no one cares and notices you. Largely because you're not bringing this fiery energy to the table. You're not bringing all this huge amount of passion. You're bringing beautiful harmony and stability, and that's often in this world, it goes unnoticed, and when it's missing, it's missed dearly, sorely. So humility and to be humble with this position is key. There can sometimes be a feeling of nobody recognizes me, no one's seeing my efforts, why am I even doing this? And then you do it anyway, you know, like, and you'll often hear this from a Virgo moon where they say, I'm never going to help anyone ever again, never. 5 minutes later they're cleaning up, and they just can't help it. They're just an extension of the surroundings. So it is very important to focus on self-care and taking care of yourself first. And sometimes Virgos can naturally see this because they know that they can't give from an empty cup. So they do sometimes are able to tend to themselves first before they put the seatbelt of their neighbour on. it is very strategic, very logical, and always looking for the highest good. It's sort of similar to Libra in this way, but with much more of a medicinal quality. And it's highly intelligent and highly emotionally intelligent, and able to look around at nature and observe how nature works, and then see how that works for us. When a moon in Virgo is less so, this will often be because of other things happening in the chart and because of other people in their life from earlier on. So most of the time here I'm talking about like the highest elevation of these signs in these placements. But when it comes to trauma and being shamed, and also if you were very empathic and taking on a lot from the external surroundings, then yes, you're very likely to have shut down emotionally. And then the shadow side of Virgo that can come up is this tendency for judgment. And then maybe you see others in an emotional state and you want to push them down and suppress the emotions that you've observed because you felt them so strongly within yourself coming from outside. And then that is then shaming those around you, which obviously isn't a beneficial thing to then help us all open up emotionally, which is what emotional intelligence is about, is being open to the emotions, to let them go. Emotions are not a process to get us somewhere. The process is to feel the emotion. That's it. And so many concepts and things get overlaid on top of it, and what they mean, and the story, and we need to get to the root of it. And it really is just about letting them pass, which is the emotional intelligence that Virgo would naturally have. Is that it's not that they don't have their own emotions, it's just that they have a more swift tendency to be able to just let it go, to let it pass through. And it all depends on how much you're identifying with something, which is based on a number of different factors within your chart and within your upbringing and within the charts of your parents and your caregivers and your siblings. As always with the moon, look at your mother, look at her placement, look what she was doing with you emotionally. Really honestly look at how she was when you were a child in terms of her emotions, and then that will sort of be reflected in your own level of judgment. Unfortunately, we live in a world where emotions are very much shamed, so you may have picked up a lot of these tendencies too, but I guarantee you, on the side of that acceptance and that forgiveness of the emotionally volatile people that you've observed, and also the lessons that you've learned about emotion, if you can forgive these people, then your life will run much more smoothly, which is ultimately what Virgo wants, is that smoothness, steadiness, and capacity for harmony. And really, depending on what your agenda is in the rest of your life and the rest of your chart, whether you're more musical, more scientific, well, whichever way you are a creative being, whichever way you tend to create, the Virgo moon will be there to bring it to its most beautiful form. If you notice, there may be someone with an enormous amount of Neptunian energy, the energy of the dream world, the energy of imagination and spontaneous thought. And this could be in a sign such as Scorpio, and it could end up going into somewhere quite demonic and strange, and really wanting to pull out the darkness and let everybody see it. The Virgo moon can kind of come into that whole world, which is quite a scary place, and show the best way to form these things together. If you think of someone like think of the beauty of the music of Kurt Cobain, and he's got this very Neptunian quality of going into he had all these problems in his guts and all of this stuff churning and churning, but then the opposite, the ruler of Neptune, I say Neptune because the ruler of Neptune is Pisces, and Pisces is the opposite archetype to Virgo. So this kind of order and chaos and order, and then being able to synthesize that and to pull in the deep space into this mercurial, quick and fast-paced reality, and find a really beautiful way to contain it and a beautiful way to express it that makes sense. And it is said that often the Pisces will the Pisces and the Virgo conundrum, that situation. Pisces will escape through drugs and chaos and going completely astray, where Virgo will escape with minute detail of things and control and rigidity and restriction, and in kind of trying to make everything make sense. So if you can work in a way to harmonize and find that place, that middle place, and emotions, that kind of is why this is a nice balanced place, because Virgo is earth, but it's soft and malleable and mutable, and then the moon is always changing and kind of chaotic, and then you have those two things together and you can get this, it can go badly wrong, but you can get this amazing, and my experience with Virgo moons is that they tend to be able to see above and beyond the temporal and the fleeting into something that is more harmonious for the wider world and for its environment around it. You know, just caring for plants, caring for the garden is very beautiful here, and having green fingers and not underestimating the power of plants, and if you've got caught up in a drama, caught up in a story, caught up in something, to then go and sniff your essential oils and say, wow, there I am, look how easily I can change my emotional state just with these things. And where Pisces may go off and do that with incredibly heavy detrimental substances, Virgo can do the same with attuning its sensitivity to tiny little differences in smell and differences in touching. This morning I was pulling leaves off of, I'm drying some mint, I'm pulling the leaves off the mint, and then I just feel like the mint is in my skin, and I can feel this minty freshness and this newness for the day, and even that has spurred me on to come and make these videos. So it can be like just that observation of the smallest little tiny thing. And I want to talk about Donovan, who has moon in Virgo, and one line where he's basically singing to God, and he says, mirror, mirror, hanging in the sky, won't you look down on what's happening here below? I sit here and sing to the flowers, so very few people really know. And that seems to encapsulate it for me. It's this kind of wanting to see the best for everyone, and sometimes you get lost in that, trying to heal the world, but then realizing if you just sit and sing with the flowers, you're then creating that wonderful vibration that other people pick up on, and that is how you heal the world. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for being here.